What's good, YouTube? I'm about to tell you about why your brain is the biggest enemy you have, gang. Your brain is the biggest op that you have, gang. Your brain is the ops. The brain is not your friend, bro. And what do I mean by that, right? A lot of times, bro, in life, no matter where you've come from, where you've brought yourself to be, what you've been able to be proud of yourself for, all the positive things in your life, bro. The brain is the negative source of every single thought that you have, bro. A lot of times we feel things in our stomach, right? We feel things in our heart, but your brain is almost like it's not yours. And it is gonna tell you like what you haven't done and what you are not capable of, and what like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna bring all those negative things is coming from your brain. You don't have a gut feeling about something, whether it be good or bad, you know what I'm saying? And it be tied to your brain. Like if you listen to your heart, it's not the same thing as listening to your brain. Granted, you need your brain to think about certain situations because some things do require looking into what you've experienced, what you fucking lived, like what you know right from wrong based off of a fucking trial and error, right? But the brain, almost, it's like it focuses on yesterday and the day before. And what I mean by that is like your brain is like a product of everything you've ever lived, everything you've ever experienced, good and bad. And it's just like it's like a box full of fucking reminders and keepsakes of shit that you lived that made you feel away. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be good or bad. But oftentimes the brain doesn't just come and make you like grateful or thankful. At least for me in my instance, right? And I think for a lot of people, like you kind of have to convert it to do that, because otherwise it's just consistently thinking of shit that you lived, and there's a reason why you do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you felt lesser than, that's why you want to get at this point in life. Maybe you were a fat kid and you got fucking bullied. You know what I'm saying? That's why you want to be swole now. Like your brain just holds all this fucking trauma and fucking experience, negative and positive experiences, and it just kind of, it constantly plays that shit. If you're anything like me, or you're anything like a fucking a person who just thinks about what they're thinking about, you feel me? But I say it's not your friend because to be successful in like any regard, you need to focus on the present and the next day. That's literally all you have to care about, is what's going on today and what am I going to do tomorrow to better my position that had to do with today, right? But your brain, it thinks of the past. Your brain holds on to things that you've lived, and it kind of reminds you, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you might feel insecure. Maybe you might feel less than. Maybe you might feel like you're never doing enough. That's a result of things that you've lived in your life, bro. And I said all this like the brain is the ops, the brain is the enemy. I'm just telling y'all, what do I mean by that, right? And I think the best way to go about this thought process is separating yourself from your brain and understanding that it doesn't even belong to you. So it is not your friend. You know what I'm saying? It's, your brain is a product of influence. I said it's affected, like the way it thinks is affected by shit you've lived, you know what I'm saying? Where you were raised, like the type of shit you've been around, what they cared about, you know what I'm saying? What the people around you tend to care about. That's what your brain is full of. It just registers shit in your life that it'll like carry with itself if it was around long enough, or it seemed that drastic to you in the moment, or if a lot of people around you are thinking a certain way about something, it's gonna hold to your brain. You feel me? Because it's like you don't even have control of it. When I say that, like your brain is literally not yours. And I feel like I've recently like discovered peace type shit. And I think that it has a lot to do with separating myself from my thought process. I'll listen to my gut, right? I'll listen to my heart sometimes just because I like to feel emotions and shit, right? But listening to your brain, when it tells you all these things, if it's not giving you ideas to better yourself or your life, you know what I'm saying? You kind of have to force your mindset to stick past all the shit that you lived. The brain is not your friend. You feel me? And if you click this video realistically, like you might have some sort of like inner dialogue or inner thought, and that's what you need to understand, is the brain is not necessarily there to help you. The brain, of course, you can use it to think. Of course, you can use it to, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like your mindset, your mind state is something that's a consistent choice. And all you really have to worry about is today and tomorrow. How can you feel good today? You need to separate yourself from your brain, bro. It's not here to help you feel better about yourself. It's here to give you reasons to do better for yourself, if that makes sense. You feel me? It's almost like I would argue that's the biggest enemy, and it doesn't even belong to you, gang. It's like your brain belongs to the fucking world and the world that you've lived, and all it does repeat back to you is shit based on what you've lived, not what you choose to do, not the life you want to lead. You know what I'm saying? Your brain just tells you shit you've lived. You have to consistently fight with that shit to fucking become who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like on a simple ass like metaphor or some shit. Is like, let's say you want to get fit, right? There's gonna be some days where your brain is like, I'm tired, bro, let's not go today, because it's more used to comfort. You're building a new lifestyle, you feel me? So you're gonna have to push yourself past your brain. You're gonna have to like argue with yourself to go. And that's what I really mean. It's not your friend. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to consistently battle with your brain, bro. You're gonna have to consistently battle with the insecurities or like the trauma and shit that you've had since from your whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying? It's like a badass fucking AI fucking server of your shit. And it's just almost there to redirect these negatives into positives. But that's all based on your perspective and what you do with this shit that it's feeding you. You feel me? I've done all this shit, bro. I got all this, you know what I'm saying? Whoever's new here, you don't know what the fuck I've done. Like, got a whole bunch of fucking brand shit right here. We got fucking sewing machine. We done came up off of clothes, all types of shit. You feel me? We fit and shit like that type shit. But I didn't get here because my brain told me this is where you're supposed to be. This is what you want out of life. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason and whatever things I've lived, I felt like these things would bring me gratification. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for whatever I could experience that made me feel like these things are important, as far as like career, health, fucking having fucking some sort of financial stability and shit like that. It's all a matter of shit that I've lived. And then so my actions are relative to how I feel about certain things because of how I was raised, the things I saw when I was growing up, and how I might have felt in life about certain shit, or when I didn't have certain shit. And then I had to separate myself from my brain and be like, to feel better about these thoughts that I do have, I need to make something of myself. I need to become who I want to be. You feel me? It's like your brain is just a fucking like a memory box. You know what I'm saying? Whenever like y'all was in elementary, like if somebody kept all your fucking drawings, or like you was dating somebody and they kept all your fucking letters or some shit. That's what your brain is. And sometimes you have to separate yourself from that shit so you can become who you want to be. And I think a big part of life and a big part of me finally understanding like how to acquire peace is realizing that you have to separate yourself from your brain a lot of times. You have to realize that it's there to remind you of what you lived and give you like a database of what you should do from right and wrong, and just learning, you know what I'm saying? But your brain is not your friend. You have to separate yourself from your thoughts, because your thoughts don't even belong to you. You feel me? You have to separate yourself from the negative thoughts that you do have, because those aren't even how you feel currently. And I'm speaking from experience, you feel me? I be going after it every day. I'm consistent as fucking all this shit I do. Like, I worked out at least like 4 days a week for the past fucking, I don't know, 2 years, bro. I've been fucking employed, like self-employed, just getting money for a long ass time, bro. And no matter what, no matter how far I come, my brain tells me, do more. That's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. But I have to battle with it, and so I can be grateful and have gratitude for where I'm at. You feel me? And so I'm just sharing my perspective with y'all. Just me dealing like with my brain shit, dealing with my thoughts. Everybody has their demons, you feel me? Everybody has their dark thoughts and shit like that. And my life is a product of battling with that shit for my betterment. You feel me? And so after all this time of consistently doing that for years on years and years, whoever's watching this, I'd like to advise you to understand that that shit is not gonna go away. But you just have to change how you look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel these ways for a reason because of the lives you live. You know what I'm saying? The shit you've seen, the shit that people cared about around you. Like, it's all, your brain is just a big fucking thing of memories and influences that don't even belong to you, gang. So you just have to make a choice. I don't even want to get on some overly deep shit and say like it's your soul that needs to be like, you need to be tapped in with. But just understand your brain is an obstacle. And it can help you feel me, depending on how you look at it, or it could hinder you. But that shit is not your friend, gang. And just separate yourself from it sometimes when it feels like it's being too much on you, gang. That's it, bro.